Yo guys, what is going on? Got some more BT5 Battle of Omni gameplay for you guys. I am playing a purple deck over on the right. This is going to be a option card focused deck based on Plutomon and MetalGarurumon. So basically just trying to spam out option cards for free. I had a pretty ideal opening with the Gabumon on top of the Demimeramon and then the one-cost Devimon blocker. So I'm all ready to go, just trying to cycle through my deck, draw some cards, and even if my Devimon does end up dying, I will get some draws off of that. So I'm also playing against another purple deck, which at the time I was kind of trying to figure out what variant he was playing, because you see the starter deck cards there. There is of course, the Devimon and then the Pagumon, but then he's also playing Ghostmon, which is like one of the Digibursters. So basically, if you trash him due to Digiburst, you get to add him back to your hand. So nice recyclability. So it leads me to believe he's playing some sort of Digiburst purple deck, but we'll find out that's kind of the case and kind of not the case. But anyways, so he's going to then play the Labramon for a cost of 3. Labramon is a nice on-play effect that allows you to draw one card and then discard one card. So really ideal for just setting up your trash, which is exactly what purple wants to do. I'm going to play my 2-cost White Tamer Takumi Aiba for 2, and then end up playing a mat for a cost of 4. Unfortunately, no recovery from the mat, not going to be able to add anything back to my hand from the trash, but I do just want to guarantee myself 3 memory. I think my hand wasn't the greatest at the time, so Takumi also helps with that because he lets you draw a card. Basically, you draw 2 every single time you Digivolve. You basically suspend him to draw a card anytime you so desire. So then my opponent is going to just go into the black War Growlmon. So I guess I was kind of right about the Digiburst aspect. So we're going to see detach 3 materials and bring back any level 3 Digimon. So we're going to see a Gabumon that I believe he discarded earlier with the Labramon effect, and then Ghostmon is going to go right back into his hand. I really do like the addition of Ghostmon, especially if you're using things like Black War Growlmon or Black MetalGarurumon. It's really helpful because purple is like a notoriously kind of bricky deck in some situations, because you do have to, well, depending on the variant, you do have to run a lot of combo pieces or option cards and stuff like that. So then we're just going to see the Gabumon being brought back. And then finally, we're going to see a Chimeramon played for 7 straight from the hand. The Chimeramon lets you delete one of your other Digimon to destroy one of your opponent's 5 or lower. So then, because my Devimon was deleted, I'm going to be able to resolve both my Gabumon and my Demimeramon effects. So drawing 2, discarding 1, and then drawing 1, discarding 1. So here I'm just drawing some cards, debating what to get rid of so that I can perfect my hand to potentially out my opponent's board, because he's got 2 very powerful Digimon on the field, potentially setting up for maybe a Chaos Gallantmon play or something like that. So I'm going to hatch my Xiaomon, go into the Gabumon, Digivolve the Meramon for 1. I really like Meramon, just having a 1-cost option for a champion is really nice. And then I'm going to go into Lady Devimon for 3 into my breeding area. Do also note that you cannot resolve Takumi on Digimon in the breeding area. I've had a lot of people ask me that before, but you can't actually do it. Nothing interacts with the breeding area, no effects. So anyways, I'm just going to Digivolve that Lady Devimon, and here I was debating what I could play, but I don't want to commit anything to the field that I care about losing necessarily, because he does have the potential to go into something like Chaos Gallantmon the following turn. So I'm just going to throw down a Gazimon Digivolve into the Devimon for 1, leaving my opponent with just 1 memory since he doesn't have a tamer, and then I'm going to suspend Takumi there to draw another card off of the Digivolution, so drawing 2 in total. But as I kind of predicted already, we're going to see the Chaos Gallantmon come down for a cost of 4, deleting my Devimon, and then Chaos Gallantmon's second effect will trigger whenever one of your Digimon leaves play. You can just bring back a level 3 purple from your trash at no cost. So then I'm going to start my turn with 3, bring out my Lady Devimon, go into the MetalGarurumon for a cost of 3, suspending Takumi to get another draw off of that, which is so important because in the these option card, like option focused decks, you really want to be as consistent as possible, and just having as many options in your hand is really nice. So I'm going to play Earthshaker from my hand for free because of MetalGarurumon's effect, and then Lady Devimon's Inherited also lets me get rid of the Labramon on his side of the field. My opponent was trying to proc the Chaos Gallantmon effect, but unfortunately it's only during your turn. That'd be kind of insane if it was just during both players' turn. That'd be sick. But anyways, I'm just going to round things off by playing a Tapirmon. So I think I'm in a good position, unless of course my opponent goes into something like a Zwart or a Millenniumon. Unfortunately, I did not have the Hell's Gate in my hand. If I did, I would have used MetalGarurumon's effect again, because it's not actually a once per turn. You can detach 4 to use 2 option cards, which is really, really sick. So then my opponent is going to start his turn by going into that Ghostmon. Again, Ghostmon's so good because you just have the constant ability. You'll basically like never brick off of like not having a level 3 in hand. So then he's just going to go that, Digivolve, and then draw a card. And then Digivolve into the Retaliation Devimon for a cost of 2. That makes me much more cautious. It makes me not want to swing with my MetalGarurumon. I probably wasn't going to anyways, since Chaos Gallant is 12,000 and MetalGarurumon's only 11. That's basically the only downside about him. But regardless, my opponent is going to go into that. So likely maybe doesn't have a Zwart. If he does, he'll give me 5 memory, because Zwart is a 6 evolution cost. And then even though he will get a couple of Digimon on the side of the field, starting me with 5 is pretty big. So then my opponent is just going to round things off by Digivolving into the Black Wargrowlmon in the breeding area. So it kind of is a little bit unfortunate because there are some really nice inherited effects on purple Digimon, like Retaliation. Like he's got the Devimon there, but Black Wargrowlmon does require you to have 3 materials to Digiburst. Not actually just a Digiburst 2, it's a Digiburst 3. So anyways, I'm going to start my turn with 3, Digivolve into the Gabumon there, just hoping to draw into something that I can use. Digivolves into the Devimon, and then draw another card off my Takumi, and you can see I'm just racking up so much advantage because now I'm going to use MetalGarurumon's effect, detach 2, and activate the Hell's Gate. Finally drew into that, so being able to get rid of his Chaos Gallantmon for absolutely free is just so good. So now I can potentially swing with the MetalGarurumon, because even if I give my opponent 3 memory, I don't think there's anything aside from like Attack Demon that could, you know, kill my MetalGarurumon. But even if he does that, I can just swing over him with the Devimon if need be. So then, anyways, he's just going to reveal the Ty and Matt Insecurity, which is super unlucky, because now, even though I'm only giving him 1 memory by Digivolving that Vilemon, he will guaranteed go to 3 because I do have the level 6 Digimon. I've got the MetalGarurumon, so we are going to then see my opponent bring out his Black Wargrowlmon, so then he can do a couple of things here. If he's got the Chaos Gallantmon, that would be pretty sick, because he could basically wipe my whole board with that. He could detach 3, bring back something like a Guillaumon, which he may or may not have in Trash Run. Actually, I don't think he does have a Guillaumon, but if he did, he could bring him back, pop the Devimon, and Guillaumon will gain him a memory, and then he could swing over the MetalGarurumon. But in that case, I'm not sure what else he could do here, like I said, aside from Attack Demon with just 3 memory. So then we are going to see the Black Wargrowlmon use the Digiburst 3 effect, detaching all 3 materials to bring back a purple level 3 Digimon from the trash, bringing back the Gabumon. Started at Gabumon also does have a nice inherited effect, where whenever you're attacking, you can, I believe it's just draw 1, discard 1, so basically just cycling through your deck even more. And then Ghostmon will once again return to my opponent's hand. And then we are going to see the Devimon Digivolve for 2 with Retaliation, so that is a little bit scary, but fortunately for me, since Gabumon was played this turn, he is not allowed to attack, so he won't be able to just get rid of my MetalGarurumon straight up. He will have to wait a turn, but at this point, like I said, he might have some powerful level 6 he's holding on to. If not, I think I can do some damage the following turn, but we'll just have to see what my opponent's got in store. So to end things off, my opponent is not actually going to go into anything else. He's just going to play a second copy of Ty and Matt. So if my MetalGarurumon stays on the field, he will be getting a +4 memory gain every single turn, so guaranteeing himself to start at 5 or less. So I'm going to swing security, hopefully trying to kill my MetalGarurumon, but nope, just going to run into a 3rd copy of Ty and Matt. So of course, one time item security was not bad enough. We had to have the second one. So anyways, I'm going to Digivolve into Lady Devimon, draw one off of her Digivolution, draw another off Takumi, and then draw two off of the Lady Devimon effect, trashing two more cards from my hand. That's actually kind of crazy. Just cycle through 4 every single time you evolve into Lady Devimon, and then I'm going to end things off by evolving into Plutomon, drawing 2 more cards, and then playing the Earth Shaker from my hand for free. Earth Shaker is just such a powerful card. Lets you basically delete an unsuspended level 5 and level 4 Digimon on your opponent's side of the field. I'm playing it for free with Plutomon. Just feels so good. So at this point, I was like, alright, I've got 2 powerful level 6 Digimon now. My opponent does have 10 memory, right? He did start with 10. That is quite a lot, but I just have so much more field presence than him, and I think I can potentially go for a game within the next couple of turns here, but we'll just have to see what he does. So I think I was getting a little bit too comfortable. So anyways, we're going to see the Ghostmon evolve for 0. And then the blocker Devimon evolved for 1 after that, putting my opponent to 9. And then we're going to see a Vajramon evolve for 2. Vajramon is a really cool level 5. I think I'm actually running him in this build of my purple deck as well. He's essentially just a 2-cost level 5, which is really nice. But the cool thing about him, as opposed to something like Skullmeramon, is that he does actually have 8,000 DP. Now, he is a 7-cost, albeit which is a little bit high, but having 8,000 is just so helpful against certain matchups. So then we're going to see a Labramon played for 3, and at that moment I was like, alright, he's got 4 memory, he's got, you know, nothing else on field that can really threaten me. He does have the Vajramon in the back, which is important, but I still think I'm in a good position. So then he's going to evolve the Garurumon for a 2-cost. As the starter deck Garurumon, who I believe has the same effect as the Gabumon, the when attacking, draw 1, discard 1. So not super relevant at the moment, but with 2 extra memory, I don't think he'll go into anything in breeding, because we saw the Chaos Gallantmon earlier. He could be playing Tactimon, but I think most of his Digimon want to be on field to resolve their effects rather than hiding in the breeding area for too long. So then anyways, we are going to see a Devimon played for a 2-cost. Now, that's actually the starter deck one, I believe, which is really nice because not only is it 2-cost, but he's also 4,000 DP. And then lastly, we are going to see my opponent's own copy of a Hell's Gate, deleting my Plutomon, unfortunately, but starting me with 6 memory. And now at this point, our fields are looking pretty much even. I do have the MetalGarurumon still, but my opponent does have the Vajramon in the back, potentially going to be able to go into something very powerful the following turn, and then maybe something like a Zwart or a Millennium. So I'm going to swing with the Metalgarurumon. I really do not care if he dies. I would actually prefer it so I could save myself you know, the trouble of my opponent getting 6 memory every single turn. But no, of course, the one time I want my level 6 to die, he's just going to survive. So after that, I'm going to go into the Vilemon for a 2 evolution cost. Going down to 4. I think the plan here is just, again, to build up in the back into something like a level 5, so I can go to maybe a MetalGarurumon, or then bring out the Lady Devimon the following turn, then go into a Plutomon afterwards. So that's kind of like the game here, just hiding in the breeding area, waiting for my opponent to commit to the field, and then just go into something that I can really, you know, wreck his field with. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, going to go into the MetalGarurumon for 3, so then the following turn I'll be able to get 2 activations off of a 7-cost option card or lower. So I'll be able to do some damage and potentially control the board even more. But my opponent, of course, is just going to gain that 6 memory, which is just so ridiculous. That's just so much of a game changer. So then after that, we are going to see some shenanigans ensue. So first of all, we are going to see an Anubismon throw down for 3. I was not expecting this card at all. You really need to respect Anubismon, man. I completely forgot about this card, and it is such a viable way to OTK your opponent because no one expects it. It just brings back any level 3 from your trash. They get their on-play effect, stuff like Labramon. Even I've seen some lists Tekken like a copy of Lucamon or 2 just to get that recovery as well. But then not only does he just bring back anything from your trash, but also everything from your trash plays rush. So basically, my opponent bringing out the Anubismon guarantees him 2 attacks because he's got the Anubismon himself and then the thing that you bring back over, with his effects. So then we're going to see the draw 1, discard 1 off of the Labramon after. So we are going to see the Mega Digimon Fusion played for a cost of 0. That is a white option card, which allows you to reduce the cost of a level 7 evolution for 6, basically making it free. The only downside being that it dies at the end of the turn. Actually, I think it goes back to the bottom of the deck specifically, just to get around like on deletion effects and stuff. But regardless, he's going to go into Omnimon's War, trash the top 3 cards of his deck, and then bring back 2 level 5 or lower purple Digimon. Well, it's not level 5. I think it's like 8 play cost or lower, but that's basically every level 5 that his deck has access to. I believe Black Orc-Ramon's also an 8 cost, so that includes that. And then we're going to see a nasty combo of Chimeramon plus Gyomon brought back for free. Chimeramon's going to be able to delete the Vilemon for free, and then the Gyomon will actually just gain him a memory because it was deleted by a card effect, putting my opponent back to 6. Now he's also got the Omnimon's War on field, which, by the way, gains an extra security check for each tie and mat he has on field. So even though I still have 5 total security, my opponent's Zwart will check 4 cards. Okay, so he's got 4 cards, and then we see a clump of Digimon there. He's got 4 attacks, or 4 checks with the Omnimon, and then 3 extra attacks with those middle 3 Digimon. The only thing that can't attack currently is the Chimeramon. So he's just going to attack with Zwart, bounce back the Anubismon, which was actually a really, really good play. Like, it's actually, he didn't need to do that. And if I was in the same situation, I might not have done that. But that was actually huge, because you can, even though there's nothing on my side of the field to delete, you can actually just bounce it back, and it was really nice because he's going to be able to reuse that in just a second, as you will see. So even with the Zwart dying at the second security check, we're going to see some more shenanigans from my opponents. So then for a 3 cost, we're going to see a Black Orc-Ramon's evolved. Unfortunately, won't be able to use its Digiburst effect because it does only have 3 materials instead of, it has 2 materials instead of 3, but it's not going to matter because then we're just going to see another Anubismon come down for 3. That is pretty much probably the same one he just added back. So that's really smart. So he got back the Anubismon, drew off that, and then Anubismon will again bring back a level 3 Digimon who has Rush. So now, not only does the Labramon have Rush, but now his Gyomon does. The Demi-Devimon can attack, Anubismon can attack. So I've got 3 security cards left. He's got 4 attacks. So unless there is an option card that can save me here, which I don't think there is because Hell's Gate and Earthshaker won't do anything, my opponent is just going to be able to swing with all of his Digimon for a game. So that was just such an explosive ending to that first round. So then Game 2, I'm going to start, but unfortunately, I just had such a terrible opening. I'm just going to play the Vajramon for a cost of 7 and pass turn. My opponent is just going to be able to capitalize on that and then just Digivolve into a bunch of Digimon, draw some cards. You see the Gabumon there, the Devimon, and he still he still has 6 memory to do all his plays with, and he's already pretty much ahead. So I just don't, if playing a level 5 from your hand just puts you so behind, even though it definitely doesn't guarantee your loss. There's definitely been games that I've come back even after having a bad opening like that, even though, it was so bad, I've still been able to come back, which is what I like about this game. But my opponent is just going to Digivolve into the Black Orc-Ramon and then play a Marcus from his hand. Now, if you're wondering why he's playing Marcus in his deck, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not the person knowledge on this. I don't know what spice he's playing. There's literally no reason he should be playing Marcus. We've seen his deck in action. He's not playing any other red cards aside from Marcus. Please don't be like this guy. Just play BT1 Matt or I don't know what other purple memory tamers that is. Basically, just play Matt. Don't play Marcus. There's literally no reason for this, but it does the job. It gets him 3 memory. So regardless, he's going to play that for a 4 cost, and then it's going to be my turn. I'm going to Digivolve into the Gazimon there, and then I just passed, putting my opponent back to 3 memory. There was nothing else I could do, so my opponent is just going to be able to start with 3 memory. Even though he's going to already, because he's got the memory tamer. But regardless, we are going to see the Black War Gromon come out of the breeding area, and it's not going to use its Digiburst 3 effect, which I kind of think was a little bit of a risky play, but he did really want the inherited effect of the Gabumon to draw and discard a card so that he could get rid of the Guiomon, because otherwise he would have just had to bring back the Gabumon. I don't think he had another level 3, but regardless, it's going to work out for him. He's going to survive that first security check and then just bring back the Guiomon with the Black War Growlmon's effect, setting up for something like a Chaos Gallantmon, which is exactly what we see. So Chaos Gallantmon is going to evolve for 4, and then delete the Guiomon. Guiomon is going to gain him 1 memory, and then putting him back at 0. And then Chaos Gallantmon brings back the Guiomon that you just deleted off the Gallantmon's effect. So effectively getting that effect resolved for free. So now I am just so behind. My opponent's already got a Memory Tamer in play. He's got a level 6 Digimon in play. So it's very unlikely I'll be able to come back, but that will not stop me from trying, guys. So my opponent's going to end things off by just Digivolving into the Black Growlmon for a cost of 2. I'm going to bring out my Gazimon, who does have the Xiaomon underneath him. Unfortunately, since it's like the first couple of turns, don't really have the trash resources to be able to get retaliation during my turn. But I do have the Hell's Gate, so unfortunately not going to be able to build up into something like a Plutomon, resolve it for free, but I will still be able to just play it and get rid of the Chaos Gallantmon. I really don't want that thing attacking multiple times with 12,000 DP. So then my opponent's just going to flip over the Xiaomon, Digivolve into the starter deck Gabumon there, draw off of that, and then probably wanting to set up for another potential Chaos Gallantmon play. If he does have the Black War Growlmon, he'll pretty much have to save it for the breeding area, because it really wouldn't be too useful on the Black Growlmon, but instead we're just going to see the vanilla, the Vajramon, evolved for a memory cost of 2. And then finally, we are going to see, of course, the bane of my existence, Anubismon Digivolved for 3. So my opponent will still have to pass turn, but since I don't have a Memory Tamer, putting me at 1 is pretty significant now that he did get a Gabumon back off of the Anubismon effect. So now he's got 2, level 3s in play, as well as a powerful level 6 Digimon, which he could potentially go into Zwart. We know he's running Zwart and things like that. I'm going to be able to go into Meramon, as well as a Tapermon there, and then Digivolve on up into the Lady Devimon, which is a little bit risky. Again, putting out level 5s against this deck is kind of risky because he does have Chaos Gallantmon, but I really need the draws and, just to fix my hand and potentially get into something that I can work with, something like a Plutomon or a Black MetalGarurumon, something like that. So then my opponent is going to start his turn with 3 memory. Then we are going to see the Black Growlmon Digivolve for 2 in the breeding area. He chose not to bring it out, which was probably a good move considering I am playing Plutomon. He could be scared of the Earthshaker, or maybe if he thinks I'm playing something like a Chaos Gallantmon as well. Saw the Black MetalGarurumon as well, so it's pretty smart for him to just keep on building up in the breeding area until he can bring out his powerful Digimon. And then we're going to see the Black War Growlmon as well, putting me to 2 memory. And then I'm going to start my turn. I think bringing out the Tapermon would be fine, just starting to swing and drawing some cards off of his effect and the Demi-Meramon, so I'm going to swing with Tapermon, run into an Anubismon in security, draw off of the Tapermon, and then draw off of the Demi-Meramon's inherited, which allows me to then discard a card as well. So the ideal scenario here would be to go into something like a Plutomon, throw down a Hell's Gate, get rid of the Anubismon as well. But even if I do that, he does have the Black War Growlmon coming out from the breeding area. So I am scared of a Chaos Gallantmon again, so it's probably best to just evolve the Lady Devimon. So I go into the Plutomon for 4. Plutomon lets me draw 2 cards and then play any 6 cost or lower purple option card from my hand for free. Now at the moment I think I only had Earthshakers in my hand, which is really unfortunate. Earthshaker lets you delete an unsuspended level 4 and level 5, so you could argue it would have been better for me to wait until he brings out the Black War Growlmon, but that's contingent upon a couple things. That's reliant on the fact that he would have to bring out the Black War Growlmon and not evolve it. I just don't think that was extremely likely to happen, so hence why I just went into the Plutomon anyways and was trying to dig for a Hell's Gate, but it just didn't end up working out. So then we are going to see the Black Garurumon detach 3 materials for the Digiburst. And sorry about that cut, but a couple things happened. So he brought back the Gabumon and then evolved the other Gabumon on with the Garurumon there, and then swung security with the Garurumon, and hence why it is suspended now. So Gabumon, the one that he brought back off of the Anubismon, well, actually, he was brought back by the Black Garurumon, but Anubismon just says anything played from trash will gain rush. So even though it wasn't brought back by Anubismon's effect specifically, it will still let the Gabumon attack. So then he's going to run into Matt in security, and Matt is going to grab me back a Hell's Gate, which may or may not, you know, serve any helpful purposes in the near future. I have a feeling that Plutomon is not going to stay on field for a long time. So then my opponent is just going to end things off by confirming my suspicions and getting rid of it with a Hell's Gate. So now I'm left with 5 memory. My opponent's got 4 Digimon on the field, and I've just been completely outpaced this whole game. So I'm not sure there's too many things I could do. I hatch over the Demimeramon, Digivolve into the Gabumon there. I'm going to hard play a Vilemon for 5, putting me to 0, and then I'm just going to use the Hell's Gate I got back earlier and get rid of the Anubismon now. But regardless, my opponent is going to hatch his Pagumon and the Digivolve into his own Gabumon, but I just don't think there will be enough for me to be able to come back. So for a 4 cost, he's just going to be able to go into Chaos Gallantmon, delete one of his Digimon to delete his Vilemon, get rid of my last blocker, and then now he does have the ability to bring back the Digimon he just deleted with, you know, or just replace it with any level 3 purple Digimon, unsuspend himself with the Chaos Gallantmon, and just go for game. So guys, you saw I just got my ass beat by a purple deck playing Marcus. There's absolutely no reason I should have lost to this deck, but I mean, things happen, I guess. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, and you know, maybe there's just some spice I wasn't understanding. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.